Johnny Big Rig Hendricks won the fight. This is fucking robbery.
Fight fans, what is up? This is the Astronaut coming to you for the Johnny Big Rig Hendricks vs. George Rush St. Pierre 170 title bout. Now, I'm going to give you my assessment. I probably will get some flack for this, but I want you guys to let me know your opinions and what you think if you saw the fight. I'm gonna score this fight the opposite way, or pretty much neutral. Now, a little about me. I am a musician first and foremost. I love music, but I do love my hand-to-hand combat sports. I grew up wrestling since I was 7, around the mid 130, 145 weight, and I just love sports like that. I'm a real boxing fan. I'm a Pacquiao fan. I will be doing the Pacquiao Rios review come next Saturday, November 23rd. And now to the fight. This started off as one of the highest reviewed fights. This is, by all means, this is going to be a great fight, and it really was. I really enjoyed watching these guys fight. They're two of the best, if not the best in the sport, and they really put it all out there. I was very indifferent about this fight. I was, going into this 50-50, I really didn't care who won. I could easily see Hendricks taking it, and I could easily see GSP taking it. Now, GSP is a very, very hard guy to fight or manipulate or put your own game plan in, and Hendricks as well. He's got big hands. He gets inside. He knows how to counter. So this fight really could have gone either way. Now, the first round, you can see GSP try to establish his reach with his jab. It was working, but a little bit. I know Hendricks waited to get inside to wait for his perfect advantage. And I can see that, the judges giving, most of the rounds to Hendricks and, half or other to GSP. The blood on the face really, at the end of the fight told who won the fight. And the point of UFC is to inflict the most amount of damage as possible. Now, that was evident at the end of the fight. You could easily see, there was a gash on each side of the cheek for GSP. He had to go to the hospital and get stitches. And that alone could win the fight. But when you really break down the perspective and the point scoring, GSP had the predominant amount of takedowns. Hendricks defended a good amount of takedowns. Hendricks even implemented some takedowns, but you can really see GSP adamantly trying to take Hendricks down. Hendricks had a really nice little ground and pound. I was at the third or fourth. He took him down. But in UFC these days, you really have to knock out, KO the champion as a challenger to retain the belt. And that's kind of what the trademark of this sport is. They want to see big KOs. They want to see a guy flat out cold. They want to see action. So when you're in a title bout like this, I can see the judges saying, hey, they didn't think Hendricks did enough. They didn't knock him out. This guy's got knockout power. But I could definitely see this as a robbery. It was. I remember watching the press conference, Dana White saying, I am thoroughly banning those judges to ever judge in the state of Nevada again. I don't want this to turn into boxing, the way they fight point scores and stuff like that. But I can see why they gave GSP this fight. A lot of people thought Hendricks was going to knock GSP out, and GSP did get a couple of hooks in there that landed very cleanly on Hendricks' face. So the scoring was cast on, I believe, takedowns and, power punches. Really, a lot of people thought Hendricks was going to thoroughly knock out GSP, and a lot of people thought that GSP, had the game plan to submit or counter whatever Hendricks had to do. Like I said, it was a closer bout than everybody's making it up to be. It was obvious that Hendricks, he did the most amount of damage, but in a very close bout like this, it's very difficult to say that it was very obvious. I mean, Yeah, you can argue that, and I'll probably get a lot of flack for that, but when you really break down the takedowns and the points, GSP, he held up, and he wasn't at his best this fight, and that's just to show you how good this guy was. He came into the fight looking very lackadaisical, and even a solid Hendricks at his pinnacle, still couldn't KO GSP. That's just to shows you how good this guy is over tons of years of just a tyrant in the sport. Now, if this was to go another rematch, I really think that Hendricks would take GSP out. This guy, he's just a monster. He's a college champion in wrestling. My buddy he sparred with him, and he said his fists are like the size of tomato cans. You do not want to get hit by this guy. He is just a beast. So I don't really think GSP will retire. He may, but I really think he should give Hendricks a rematch. And if the rematch comes, I think Hendricks will take the title. But you never know. He may retire. He may not. But everybody's claiming robbery, and it was closer than you think actually. In the last round, it looks like Hendricks kind of took off. He was getting a little cocky. He didn't really put 100% in, and GSP went in and he took him down, and he tried to give him a little ground pound with 15 seconds left. And sometimes that wins the eyes of the judges. Sometimes, I remember in the post-press fight conference, Hendricks said, I was hitting with about 70% of my power, and I could almost knock him out. It phased him. And then Dana White turns to him and he's like, 70% of your power? You should have been using 100% of your power. And everybody in the conference room had a little laugh about that. But, like I said, it was a close fight. The blood was evident. He inflicted insane amount of damage on GSP, but he held his game, GSP didn't get knocked out. He threw a couple good shots in there, strikes. But, from the outside eye, it's evident, this was robbery. Hendricks clearly won the fight. But, GSP stood his ground. And if it is, bias, faulty judging, UFC's gotta implement better judges. But this is a good fight. Hopefully you guys will see this fight. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. You guys probably think I'm obviously wrong, or you could agree. I don't know. But stay tuned. I'll be doing another one for Pacquiao-Rios fight if you guys want to see that review. And you guys have fun watching UFC and boxing. Take care.
Go Johnny Big Rig Hendricks. Hendricks won the fight. This is bullshit, guys.